Our second speaker is David Young. He will be recording this portion of the meeting. His title of his speech is Virtual Conference Audiences Experience. He's delivering this speech from the Persuasive Influence Level 3. Connect with your audience. It is a 5 to 7 minute speech. He'll be presenting a speech on a topic that is new or unfamiliar to club members to practice adapting during the presentation and to adapt the audience's reaction to maintain engagement. Let's welcome David Young, Virtual Conference Audiences Experience.
If you treat every person you meet as he or she were the most important person in the world, you will communicate that he or she is somebody to you. Oops, I didn't realize you were here. Welcome to the Fireside Chat with David Young on how to engage your audience. Fellow Toastmaster, member and guests, as you have noticed, I have been presenting a lot in many occasions, conferences, and moderating as a conference Zoom moderator and a panelist. And I would like to share with my insight with you. You have just heard an excellent speech from Greg Danko, the incredible Hulk. You do not want to make him mad, do you? So I'm here to provide you my insights. But first, let me walk you through a story. Halloween is coming, and what is more scarier than coming to a place that you never known before? I remember a year, 5 years ago, I first attended an in-person Halloween party. We all had to dress up. I noticed some of you have done that. And we all have to learn how to be present, learning how to be active and listen. And for me, that is something that I don't usually do often. As somebody coming from an introvert background, yes, I used to be introvert. I said it, okay? I admitted it. It is not something I'm proud of. But the way how I transitioned from an introvert to an extrovert is because of what happened during the Halloween party. I was invited to a dance. We have a scenery in a farm barnyard that everybody dressed up like a country western individual. For me, somebody coming from outside the United States, haven't watched much about the Western movie, I have to learn on my feet and learn to dress up. But also, I was paired with a lady to dance with. Guess the nervousness that I had. Isn't that scary for the fellow gentlemen out here and for the ladies being paired up with some unknown strangers? It is that event that propelled me forward because I choose to listen. I choose to treat them not as someone that I'm afraid of or someone that I want to get from, but someone I want to learn from. The book that I've just read to you earlier at the speech is John Maxwell, Becoming a Person of Influence, if you can see it. And I'm currently involved in a mastermind group that's closing actually right after this meeting, that we will talk about how we can use John Maxwell, leadership, communication, not the area that you may have learned in Toastmaster, but outside of that as well. How do you communicate with other people? How do you pay attention to them? Recently, I have attended a global event, over 200 participants in 20 countries across 12 different hour of time zones. During this pandemic, I have perfected several methods that I can engage my audience. But before I go forward, I want to highlight the item in John Maxwell's book. I hope you can see it. If not, I can read it to you. It has to do with multiply, mentor, and motivate. 3M. What are the 3M? Not talking about a post-it note. The 3M. A lot of us here are here to learn. We are here to provide value. We are addition to the team, whether in Toastmaster, whether in other organization at our company or any other event. But how to be a multiplier? That is something that I'm striving on through this online convention. And even though I have never met them before, not a member of the organization, they have cordially invited me to check out and to help. And I decided to step up to mentor some of them in terms of their Zoom technology. With 200 participants, and over 20 different countries, you have a lot to go after and to motivate other people in terms of how well a person can be energized. Just to show you really quick about the convention itself, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. This is a screenshot that I took during the convention, and this is just a partial of it. What do you notice about the audience member? What do you notice about them? I know Toastmaster Sandra loved to host parties. I know she loved the positive energy. We had it too, in the lower right-hand corner of the picture. This is through the organization called SIATA, Society of Intercultural Education, Training, and Research. Focus on individuals like myself interested in getting to a intercultural training specialist. And I'm honored to meet a new group of people originated from Portland, Oregon, all the way throughout the world. I was also invited to an event next year in person. God forbid, if we can meet in person in Omaha, Nebraska to speak at their conference next year. But more importantly, I want to take away this message that we have. We have a vision for interculturalists. They must provide a service that solves needs, problem beyond our clients' requests. Sometimes we don't understand what we want or what our audience needs are, but by paying attention to them, engaging them, connecting them, and to have empathy. I know you heard this word a lot, and Toastmasters Avanti mentioned that many times. She also added another word, with intention. How can you do that with intention? Pay attention to the persons in your conference. Pay attention to the people out there. And pay attention to the people in the gallery view in your Toastmaster meeting. I noticed we have another Toastmaster member joining us. So pay attention to changes. Toastmaster Sandra and I have worked together, and she has taught me incredible value lessons how to engage our audience by not just looking at the camera, but also sometimes has to looking into how other people react, how other people perhaps might be distracting, perhaps they might have a voice to say, perhaps allow them an opportunity to speak. When you have over 200 participants, how do you do that? Well, there are functions on Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet that you can assign them into different groups. But pay attention in their language. I want to go back to the John Maxwell 3M model: multiply, mentor, and last but not least, motivate. Give them a call to actions. What do you want your audience to take away with? What do you want your audience to learn? And last but not least, how have you inspired your audience to take actions in stepping outside of their comfort zone? Thank you very much for listening to my fireside chat. I hope to do more in the future. This time, back to you, Random Toastmaster.